Tonight on SA Wine Weekly, we're here at the Hidden Sea in Coonawarra.
Welcome back to SA Wine Weekly. This is our fourth show. We called it the Coonawarra show, but then we went to Pathaway and they didn't really like it. So we actually renamed it the Limestone Coast show. So we are here today with football royalty. Nice to meet you, Steve.
Thank you for coming.
No, we're here with Richie Vandenberg, ex-Hawthorn captain.
Yes, that's correct.
Yes, and current board member?
Yes, I am.
Current board member?
Yeah,
Because you've got your work cut out for you.
yeah.
I'd just like to say that I know Barrack for Brisbane.
I don't think the viewers would have noticed.
No, I don't know. So obviously we're here for the Hidden Sea.
We are here for the Hidden Sea.
And it has to be one of my all-time favourites. And I have tried your wine, it's not that I don't like the wine, but there's a whole other reason why it really struck a chord with myself was I love to surf, I love the water, and I love what you guys are doing. And it is really giving you a whole different avenue to market, I think, because there's not many people who are actually doing something for the environment and doing it so well. So tell us a little bit more about it. When did it start? Where are we up to?
Yeah. The essence of the Hidden Sea is Justin and I, Justin, my co-founder, and I,
Justin
Moran.
Yeah.
He and I have got a passion for wine, and we've also got a passion for the ocean, and the fact that we're down here on the Limestone Coast. We've been making wines down here since 2013. Wanted to find a way to bring the two together, and what better way to bring it together than to have a wine brand that really signifies the region, being the Hidden Sea, this whole region.
Explain that, because not many people actually know.
Well, this whole region was once covered by the Great Southern Ocean. So if you go back some 26 million years, this was all under the ocean. So it's a play on words, which is...
That's where that comes from.
The Hidden Sea.
Fantastic.
And the whale on the bottle, the story behind the whale on the bottle is there are vineyards here, especially over in Rattenbully. There's a very famous one called the Whalebone Vineyard, where there is a full-size fossilised whale still to this day sitting under the vineyard, which is estimated to be some 26 million years old. So that's where the brand, the Hidden Sea and the whale comes from.
Right.
And then the tie to the ocean and the environmental impact that we're trying to make is, our whole mission now is one wine, one mission, to remove plastic from the world's oceans and recycle it.
Love that.
So it's pretty cool. So for every bottle of wine we sell, we pull out 10 plastic bottles out of the ocean and recycle it with our partner, the ReSea Project. And that's the mission that we're on.
I'm going to stop you there. I'm just going to tell you stuff because I'm sweating out.
In fact, if you get changed right now, it's probably a good move.
I'll go put my Hawthorn one on, all right?
Yeah, you got one? Yeah.
Okay.
So how does that ReSea project work? Are you getting just bottles out of the ocean or all sorts of plastics, or...?
Yeah, I think when you put a consumer promise out there, you have to make sure it's fully audited, fully verified, and it's got real authenticity and transparency behind it. Yeah. So what the ReSea Project do is they're one of only 2 organisations globally that are fully audited and verified to the highest standards. So they literally have fishermen who go and pull the plastic out of the ocean. It is all blockchain technology, so it's all tracked and traced. We've got the QR codes on the bottle. It then goes back through a full sorting and recycling process, all bagged and tagged. So everything is fully traceable, fully audited, fully transparent. So that when people buy this bottle of wine and we make a claim, they know that the authenticity and the integrity of the product is there. And we think that's absolutely critical in this day and age. If you're going to hold yourself to account, you've got to make sure that you leave yourself without recourse.
And I think that's really important, because I bring it up a lot. I speak your story a lot.
Yeah.
I don't mind a story here and there. And a lot of people say to me, well, how do they know? How do they?
Yeah.
So the fact that you go to that extent to make sure that what you are promising is delivered is absolutely, and it's a massive issue.
Yeah.
But we're pretty lucky. Our beaches are pretty pristine.
Well, if you look at, and this is the thing, so the problem is this big. If we don't do something about the amount of plastic that goes into the ocean, by 2050 there'll be more weight of plastic in the ocean than fish by 2050. Like, that is scary how much plastic is going into our oceans. There is also studies out there now, and I think I've got a credit card on me, that each and every one of us, it doesn't matter where you are in the world, we're consuming the equivalent of a credit card a week in microplastics, which is coming in through our food and water supplies.
All right, so, and you gave me grief about long-winded stories. We've got a winemaker sitting here twiddling his thumbs.
I was gonna say.
And we are a wine show as much as... I just wanted to get that out at the start because it's amazing.
Yeah,
thanks.
it's absolutely fantastic.
Speaking of
I
amazing,
really love
we've
that.
got Stephen here as well.
We do.
So, what wine are we going to crack into first?
So we've got the 2020 Hidden Sea Rosé. So I'll pour your glass, chilled,
Love that. Love
slightly chilled,
Bottle design.
Slightly chilled.
slightly chilled.
Slightly chilled.
So when?
Thank you very
So
much.
when do you reckons?
And if we're at your house, would we be drinking it slightly chilled? I'm not inviting myself over. Well,
How would you have it?
Yes, certainly. For me, it's a wine that's best consumed in summer, autumn months. So this is from a combination of Shiraz and Cabernet varietals. So we press this, so we treat it like a white wine as opposed to a red. Minimal time on skins, trying to retain the aromatics.
Oh, she smells beautiful.
Yeah, you've done a
Oh, wow.
really good job of that.
So stylistically, I guess we like to strawberries and cream flavour profile.
Strawberries and cream. That's a
Cream,
good
I'm
one.
into that.
That is a good one. So on the rosé scale, because there is a rosé scale
Yes.
on dryness, where are we at?
This is dry, which is deliberately what we're targeting.
Yep.
Doesn't taste dry,
Yep.
does it?
Oh, I've never
I think
tasted
that's
it
fine,
yet.
yeah.
I think it's magnificent what the guys have done with this.
So the big one, I think, for us, which we've been blending and playing around with the colour. I think the change in the colour in rosé in the market has developed in the last 4 or 5 years.
Yeah, and it's extremely important, isn't it, getting the colour right
Yeah, totally.
for it to come off the shelf.
Yes,
Yep.
yeah. Even down to the colour of the bottle and
Yep.
what you're presenting it in.
Yep.
But where I think the market's going more towards pale Provence style as opposed to the brighter purples. But each consumer's different. So
Oh,
Yeah.
it's quite tasty, isn't it?
It really is. And it actually wasn't as dry as I was expecting. It's got that nice dry tone, but it
Yes.
wasn't overpowering. It was just really lovely.
Oh, the fruit's still popping through it.
Definitely.
yeah,
And,
yeah.
it is dry.
Yeah.
To me, rosés, again, lower alcohol. You don't want something that's too heavy on the palate.
No?
Sort of crisper.
Good
Great.
breakfast wine, wouldn't it?
Yeah, I think one of the briefs for the winemakers too for us is if you think about what the brand stands for, you want the wine to have full wine credentials and winemaking, but the big part of it is you want it to be that easy drinking style so that people can go, oh gee, that's nice, and quickly get on to talking about the story and then
Yeah.
create
Yeah.
their own story around how they can become a part of what the Hidden Sea stands for.
And I think, like, I'm actually contributing to the environment by drinking a lot of your wine.
Well, for every bottle we drink today, we'll pull out 10 plastic bottles. So if we get through the 4, there's 40 plastic bottles out.
There you go.
4.
4 bottles.
4 bottles. We should get through 4.
I reckon we'll get
Bottle
through
age.
So let's talk price. What is a retailer?
Yeah, so we're in that $15 to $20 range.
Oh, wow. Very affordable.
Yeah, working off promos, so we sort of work around that 18 to 20 and then promo it down to around the 15 mark. So it's a $15 to $20 bottle of wine.
Fantastic.
That's where we sit.
Very well priced with flavour in it. That's great.
So obviously 6 packs and 12 packs available.
We do it in 6-packs.
Just 6 packs.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, or you can buy 12. What we do is we get 2 6-packs and put them together. That's
Great
clever.
way to earn that.
That makes sense, doesn't it?
That's amazing.
We are clever down here.
I reckon we should probably give a little bit of kudos to the winemaker because he's done an exceptional job. Tell us a little bit about your background.
Born in the southeast on a farm, sheep, cattle. My late father was looking at vineyards to plant, so I wanted to understand the wine industry and did a vintage to find out all about it. And caught the bug, had no intention of being a winemaker. Worked in Canada, in Niagara Falls, did a vintage there, Portugal, California, and then came home and went back to study as a 25-year-old. So was used to not having any money after backpacking for a couple of years.
It's overrated.
He's still pretty used to that.
Mate, you should give me a pay rise.
He's in the wine industry. Let's go easy.
So you worked your way around. And
Yeah,
different-
tasted my way through Europe and North America. It was good.
Nice.
But it's just it's a great industry to be in, whether it's in the vineyards with growers,
Yep.
doing tastings, lunches, being at a bulk wine fair in Amsterdam or wherever it may be, or talking to customers, and then working with a team of people in the cellar. And each year you get an opportunity to make your mark, and you're trying to improve on the year before. So
Yep. Does Richie do any of that? Help with any of that?
no, we
He's
deliberately keep Richie out of
Yeah,
that.
right,
So.
he's just the face. Yeah.
No,
Right, Justin's the face, isn't he? He's a good-looking guy.
Face in the
Justin,
Yeah.
isn't he? He is. He has got some charisma too. He reminds me of a young Bob Hawke. He's just got that aura about him. He told me to say that. He said, talk about it and sit down and make sure you start better looking at Richie. So, how did you meet?
Justin?
Yeah.
How long's this show got? I retired from playing football in 2007. At the end of the season, we took what they call an end-of-season footy trip, and we ended up at a place called the Mondrian Hotel over in West Hollywood. Apparently there was a big party there on. We heard about it, and it just so happened to be a Red Bull party, and that was when a guy by the name of Gernot Freiberger, who took Red Bull to America, was selling it back to the owner, Mateschitz, in Austria. And that was their big party to celebrate the sale of the business back. Justin is good friends with Gernot.
Right.
And so he was there at this Red Bull party. Our footy team was at the same hotel at the same time, and that's how we met. Now, I'm not going to fill in the blanks, right, of what happened.
I wouldn't be there. Those parties
pretty
sound a bit cluttered.
But anyway, so that's how I met Justin.
Awesome.
I met him there, and then he brought, the sliced apple concept back to Australia that you saw on Qantas airplanes and that sort of thing. He brought that back to Australia, and I was doing some orange juice for a while, and we crossed paths at a lot of trade shows. And through his connection with sliced apples, he came across cider. That's how he got involved in cider winemaking.
Yeah.
He told me about this winery who was involved in making ciders, and I said, "Oh, that's funny. I've got vineyards, and I've always wanted to get a winery." And anyway, we came together, and in
Right place,
2013,
right time.
we
Yep.
founded the business in 2013 after what was a pretty rough start, because the industry had just come through the financial crisis. There was a big wine glut in Australia, and we took on a big facility, and in a pretty tough time. But here we are. We're still fighting, as Scotty Palmer would say. Keep on punching.
So neither of you are that good at it, so you had to get Steve on board.
Yeah. Well,
Yeah?
Steve.
How did you get him?
Steve has been an absolute godsend for us. Him and Leisha Munro's our other winemaker. We've got two winemakers, and they've been absolutely fantastic for us. They've been locks in our business. And Steve actually came back to the region when we were already going and decided that he wasn't interested in what we're doing. So he came and worked down here with one of the other wineries, and then came to his senses, and we eventually recruited him back, and
So he got fired from
Claimed
there.
him.
he got fired. Yeah. So Leisha's been with us from the start, and Steve's been with us. When did you join? That was
15,
15.
2015,
So
so
yeah, they've been with us for a long time now. So
What am I going to pair with it, food-wise?
well, we've got our very own chef here today. A very good
You are
Kirby.
You are going all right, mate. You are going quite well. I've just got my own personal chef here today.
Yeah.
Old
Talk about
Kirby
spoilers today.
So
Kirby's
right
full
on cue. Hopefully he can come in and talk to us, Nathan, because I'd be very interested to know what he thinks is
It's the perfect
the
pairing for
perfect
this
pairing
one.
for this.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
hopefully he can call something in.
All right.
Let's call him in. Look at that.
Probably go in the middle of those two.
Yeah.
And,
How are you, folk? We good?
talk it out.
Yeah, all right.
Better now that I've seen what you brought with you.
So I was tasked with the really hard task of I had to try these wines at home. That was stressful.
How
It was really
hard's
stressful,
that?
but I got through it. I got through it. We got there.
It's not what you said earlier about what
Yeah. So With our company, we source everything within 85 kilometres of our base, which is in
Give
Gambia.
yourself a plug, mate. Don't hold back.
Yeah,
My
no worries. Yeah,
company,
exactly.
name.
Yeah, Solco is our company. Soul Projects is our catering company. We've been working with these guys since the get-go.
Right.
So it's been a great relationship. On the plate here, to pair with the rosé, we've got some beautiful duck. That's from Westerly Downs. It's a free-range duck. It's been glazed in a tonkatsu, like a barbecue sauce, and it's been grilled over charcoal. We've got some warm quince, which is, we've got a little retail space as well. I'll plug that, which is the Tuck Shop in
Righto.
Gambia. We have regulars that come in and give us produce and say, oh, it grows on my tree, or it's from my backyard, or so these quinces are from one of our regulars. We've got some quince paste on
So
there
they
as
give you
well.
and you make the paste, sell it, and
No, we just make it for the kitchen to serve and,
Oh,
and
yeah,
use.
right,
And,
okay. They come and get some?
yeah, they come and get some, so they'll come in and we'll
That's
you know,
great.
exchange gifts for coffee and whatever else. And
Yeah.
yeah, it's a great little community vibe. So yeah, you got some warm quince, Westerly Downs duck with some tonkatsu, and you've got some little edible greens on there, and also some apples, which is from a tree in Glencoe, which is just away from here a little bit, just down the road. You know, just down the road's about 40 minutes, but and they have been salted and then grilled direct onto coal, and then just served with the actual duck.
what
so
were you cooking it in outside?
a little hibachi, yeah, just a little hibachi grill.
Hibachi.
So,
Wow.
yeah. So it's
So
pretty.
what's the hibachi?
So hibachi is like a little Japanese grill. Yeah.
Right.
You fill it with coals and you can cook with it. You can
Yeah.
get little ones to the table. Yeah, it's great.
Hand carved out of clay.
Hand carved out of clay from a little village in Japan.
What was the village?
The village, that village. That village. The Japanese one.
It's hard to pronounce.
Yeah, it is very hard to pronounce. Yeah, so this is pretty much it. And I wanted to do this because rosé has got this stigmata of being sweet wine, sweet food items. And I think we've really got to start breaking down the
Okay.
barriers. This rosé especially is such a great savoury rosé I found. Yes, it's got hints of strawberry. It's got some beautiful things going on there with texture. But I think something a bit sweeter, but also that's got the smokiness is going to really pair well with the rosé. But you tell me. I'm just a cook, so yeah.
Mate, you sound
There you
like
go.
a wine, mate.
Yeah.
Thanks, Kirby.
Thank you very much.
Mate, he's not too bad on the camera.
Gotta be full.
He knows what he's talking
If I
about.
hit him up, so he wants to do his own show.
Another wealth of knowledge. Fantastic.
It really came through, but what we love about what Kirby brings to us and the brand is everything he does is locally sourced. It's foraged, a lot
that,
of
support
even
local.
indigenous ingredients
Yeah.
and ingredients that quite often you've never heard of, but it's all local and that's why we think it's a great fit for the brand. It's that whole sustainability message once again. Crack into it.
Fantastic. Let's do it.
Okay.
You can set it up.
Turn it up.
Steve, I might need a little bit more because the tides are out on mine.
I did notice that
Yeah,
you were thirsty.
I was. It's because I've got to do all the talking because
Look at
Jade
the
doesn't
colours
leave
in
me.
that.
Very nice.
Oh,
It's absolutely beautiful. That quince on top's gorgeous. How are you feeling like it's pairing with the wine?
we've got wine, have we? Right.
Yeah, I think it's a good match. Well done, Kirby.
Yep.
And I think the wine's matching well. Nice cleansing on the palate.
Yep. Not taking away
Refreshing.
from the wine. Adding a
No.
little bit of sweetness, I think, there to
Sure.
it as well, especially from quince paste.
Yes.
It compliments well. I'm quite
I
liking
don't
that.
think it actually goes together that well.
You don't like it?
Oh, you and your
Think it-
pairings.
You know what I think
He's
would
a
go.
picky one,
You know
this
what I
one.
think would go extremely well with this. And I know you do have a bit of fruit down here, a Pinot.
A Pinot.
Oh, I love Pinot.
Do you? Well, we'll go for a walk out the back later and we try one.
I do love Pinot, but it is actually an awesome pairing.
Well, I think it's the quince. The quince just cuts through. Look at that, we've even saved a little bit for the producers. Now that's,
Oh, everyone's got to have a little taste, of course. Can't leave everyone out.
Plus that. You take your personal chef with you wherever you go when you're doing shows like this or you're doing tastings with.
well, he's fresh out of Noma. You heard of the restaurant Noma, the number one restaurant in the world.
I have.
Yeah.
I know all about Noma because
Kirby's,
Justin sent me a message last night. I researched this because Rich will probably bring it up.
Maybe we
I've
just,
got a question for the winemaker.
Yes.
What were we, 2019?
This is 2020.
Does it vary? You said that obviously it was Shiraz and
Cabernet.
Cabernet, yeah?
Yep.
Does the mix vary depending on the fruit of the year or did you keep it around about 65-35?
It does. Part of it's sort of tasting fruit in the vineyard and making
Yeah.
an assessment on when the fruit's at the right flavour ripeness, and also with rosé, you want to retain that natural acid.
Yeah.
But as far as varietal mix, we try and keep it the same. With,
And what was the mix?
so Shiraz Cabinet's 50-50.
50-50. I had a guess.
Really?
35, but
Yeah. So yeah, picking decisions and to pick Shiraz and Cabernet earlier in the piece than what you would obviously for table wine. So you want the flavours so that the wine doesn't end up being sort of skinny. So as a consumer, and my wife loves rosé and she'll buy on colour.
that's why he's so good at it. His wife loves it.
So I get plenty of practice.
Yeah,
Yeah.
so,
Gotta get
and
that
plenty of
colour right.
criticism, no doubt.
Ticket
That's it.
approval from the
He's
wife.
a
Yep.
very fortunate man. His wife, Rose, is definitely the rock in his family.
Right. Speaking of talking people up, the other winemaker. We probably haven't touched on it enough, have we?
Leash.
Leash.
Yeah. So, Leash has been with us from the very beginning.
Yeah.
She's had 2 children along the way, would you believe? And is still here running the show. So between her and Steve,
Powerhouse.
hey, amazing. In fact, she should be the woman. What do they call them these days? The Women in Wine Awards.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Leash will be a very worthy winner of that one day, and I think it will be thanks to the Hidden Sea and the work she's doing with us, hopefully.
Right. I'm happy to nominate her.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, I'll nominate her.
Yeah, no, so Leash, once again, a local, had a lot of global experience, national experience.
How did you guys snag her?
Well, she really didn't want to be with us either, but we talked her into it.
Yeah, right.
There's a theme there.
And is she very structured and does she have to keep Steve in mind?
Yeah, so if you look at...
Or is it the other way
How
around?
do you complement each other there? Yeah.
Yeah.
Leash is very organised.
Yeah.
And I'm not. Leash is very valuable to everyone, the whole team, and also the cellar crew that make it happen for us as well. So.
Cool.
Yeah, operational, very good. Wine palate, understanding what the consumer's looking for, which is a critical part, especially when you've got a brand like this, understanding who your target consumer is and being able to tailor a wine towards them.
Exactly.
It's one of Leash's strengths.
Yeah.
So her and Steve work together on that side of things, and then Steve also sources a lot of our fruit, and then has all of those grower relationships and any sort of excesses. He trades all the commercial side of the business as well. So that's the link. That's how the two work
'Cause,
together.
like what we like may be different to what our consumer is actually
Yeah.
wanting.
And
So,
you guys actually own a lot of vineyards. Is it? Do you own the second most amount of vineyards in South Australia?
No.
did Justin
No.
tell you that?
Did Justin tell you that?
No, I just made it up.
Pulled that one out of
You
nowhere.
do actually own a lot of, because
Yeah, but
down here, a lot of it is,
Yeah.
your fruit goes into the big boys' wines,
Yeah, correct.
because your fruit is so good. And do you keep the best fruit for yourself? And how much of your own fruit are you selling off straight away to balance the budget?
Yeah, no, we use all of our own fruit.
Yeah.
Pretty much. Now, I touched on it earlier before the show. We just talked about my whole family is growing grapes. They're wine grape growers.
Yeah.
So that's where the large vineyard holdings are. But from our perspective, we have a combination of our own vineyards, but then sourcing from the local growers. So we're spread out, and the way we source is right across the region. So Padthaway, Rattenbully, Coonawarra, Mount Benson, Robe. We like to have a really good spread of the region,
Nice.
and that's how our wines come together.
Yeah.
As opposed to being single vineyard
Just
or
that one
anything
area.
like that.
Yeah.
Righto.
Yeah. Get that nice balance
And that's
between all of them.
where Steve comes into it more too, because he's got that expertise of knowing where the fruit is and what the quality of the fruit is.
Correct. So Steve's managing around 50 growers. We have about 50 growers
Wow.
on top of what we do, and that's what pulls it all together. And we just love having that flexibility of regions and styles, and what it allows you to do is to be really creative, which is what this game's all about.
Have a bit of fun. So, comment and like and share to double your chances, and you can get your hands on a bottle of this beautiful rosé from the Hidden Sea.
Oh, there might actually even
More
be,
creative
there might be
comment.
some really good bonuses for this show. I'm actually not going to give them away, but there's going to be some really, really good prizes.
Beautiful.
There won't be one bottle, I can tell you that much.
we'll make the comment.
Well, actually, it might be one, and you and I will split the
Well,
rest.
we might, we
Well,
might.
no matter how many you give away, for every bottle that you do give away, we'll pull 10 plastic bottles out of the ocean and recycle it. So
There you go.
we'll make sure that gets done.
Right, I feel so much better.
Guilt free, comment away. Yeah,
QR code.
So we're going to give more than one away,
I think so.
and no Hawthorn supporters. No Hawthorn
There's not many of them
supporters.
anyway.
No, huh?
There's not many of them.
Not this year, is there?
Come on, like, give us a spell.